If you click this, chances are anxiety has been messing with your life. Maybe you wake up already feeling overwhelmed. Maybe your mind won't shut up, constantly replaying past mistakes or worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. Maybe you keep promising yourself, tomorrow I'll be better. But somehow, tomorrow always feels just as exhausting as today. Listen, I know how it feels. I used to be trapped in an endless cycle of overthinking, stress, and mental exhaustion. But then I did 8 things, and they completely changed how I feel overnight. I'm not saying I became some ultra Zen monk who never worries about anything anymore, but I went from feeling like my brain was a malfunctioning browser with 100 tabs open to actually feeling calm and in control. And no, I'm not about to sell you some magic pill or tell you to just stop overthinking. That advice is as useless as telling a fish to stop swimming. Instead, I'm going to break down the exact steps that help me and some surprising science-backed tricks that work way faster than you'd expect. So if you want less stress, more control, and actual peace of mind, stick with me. By the end of this, you'll have an anxiety-proof strategy that actually works. Step 1 is the 5-second rule that stopped my overthinking. We need to talk about overthinking, the biggest scam your brain pulls on you. Your mind convinces you that if you worry long enough, you'll somehow solve all your problems. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. Mel Robbins, yes, the famous author and motivational speaker, came up with something called the 5-second rule. It's ridiculously simple. The moment you start overthinking, count backward from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take action. Why does this work? Because it interrupts the brain's autopilot mode and forces you into decision-making mode. Anxiety thrives on indecision, so by taking action, any action, you stop the cycle before it spirals out of control. I started using this technique whenever my brain tried to drown me in worry. I'd catch myself overanalyzing a text message, stressing about a conversation, or hesitating to do something important. Instead of letting my thoughts run wild, I'd count down and just do something. Anything that pushed me forward. And you know what? It worked. My anxiety wasn't gone instantly, but I stopped feeding it. And that made all the difference. Step 2 I did was the what if trick that shuts down worrying. Ever notice how anxiety loves playing the what if game? What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if everything goes wrong? Let me introduce you to someone who mastered the art of flipping what if in his favor, Steve Jobs. You know, the guy who built Apple, got fired from his own company, then came back and revolutionized technology. Yeah, that guy. Instead of letting what if paralyze him with fear, he used it as a tool for courage. Whenever he faced a big decision, he'd ask himself, what if today was my last day alive? Would I still be afraid to do this? That mindset shift is powerful. Next time anxiety tells you, what if I mess up? Flip it. What if this actually goes right? Or, what if I try and it changes everything? Your brain loves certainty, but life isn't about guarantees. It's about probabilities. And the probability is most of your worst fears, they never actually happen. Step 3, fix your nervous system, because your brain isn't the only problem. Here's something nobody tells you about anxiety. It's not just in your head, it's in your body. Your nervous system is like your brain's security alarm. When it's triggered, you get symptoms like racing thoughts, a tight chest, or feeling like something terrible is about to happen. And most people try to fix this by thinking their way out of it. Big mistake. You don't fix an overheated engine by debating with it. You cool it down. Enter the vagus nerve hack, a trick that neuroscientists swear by. Your vagus nerve controls relaxation in your body, and you can activate it instantly using a simple breathing trick. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. Doing this sends a signal to your brain that says, hey, we're safe. You can chill now. I started doing this before bed, after stressful meetings, or anytime I felt anxiety creeping in, and it worked better than any self-help book I'd ever read. Step 4, the no social media before 10 a.m. rule. Want an easy way to make your anxiety 10 times worse? Start your morning by scrolling social media. When you wake up, your brain is in its most absorbent state. If the first thing you see is bad news, someone's fake perfect Instagram life, or an email that stresses you out, you're already setting yourself up for a mentally exhausting day. I made one change: no social media, emails, or news before 10 a.m. Instead, I replaced it with reading something positive, a book, an article, or even a motivational quote. A quick walk or stretch, drinking water before caffeine, because dehydration makes anxiety worse. Yes, really. And within a week, my mornings felt calm instead of chaotic. Try it for 3 days. You'll notice a difference. Step 5. Move your body to move your mind. Your brain is not designed to process anxiety while sitting still. Movement naturally reduces stress hormones and releases endorphins, nature's anti-anxiety drug. Even a 5-minute walk can drastically reduce anxious thoughts. Here's why this works. When you're anxious, your body goes into fight or flight mode. Your brain thinks you're in danger, even if all you're doing is stressing over a text message or a work deadline. Exercise signals to your brain that the danger is over. I started small, just stretching for a few minutes in the morning. Then, I added a 10-minute walk in the evening. Eventually, I started lifting weights, and I realized something amazing. Physical strength builds mental strength. The best part? It doesn't have to be complicated. Dancing, running, even just shaking out your arms and legs for a few minutes. It all helps. The key is to move before anxiety fully takes over. Think of it like interrupting a panic attack before it begins. Step 6. Journaling. Get it out of your head. Anxiety builds when thoughts get stuck in your mind. Writing them down organizes your worries and makes them feel less overwhelming. I started writing 3 things that made me anxious each day. 90% of them never happened. Here's what's interesting. When you put your thoughts on paper, your brain stops treating them like emergencies. It's like offloading a heavy backpack you didn't even realize you were carrying. Try this. Before bed, write down the top 3 things that stressed you out that day. Then, next to each one, write what actually happened. Most of the time, you'll see that either nothing bad happened or you handled it just fine. Journaling isn't about writing a novel. It's about proving to your anxious brain that it's exaggerating most of your fears. Once I started this habit, my anxiety dropped by at least 50% overnight because I finally saw how irrational most of my worries were. Step 7. Cut out stimulants. Yes, that includes caffeine. I used to drink coffee like it was my job. I thought it gave me energy, but in reality, it was fueling my anxiety. Caffeine spikes cortisol, which is the hormone responsible for stress. That jittery on-edge feeling? That's your nervous system on high alert. The same state your body goes into when you're being chased by a tiger. The problem is, there's no tiger. It's just an email from your boss. Cutting caffeine changed everything. I switched to decaf and herbal teas, and within days I noticed. My heart rate stayed normal, even during stressful moments. I didn't wake up feeling anxious for no reason. I actually felt calmer throughout the day. If quitting cold turkey sounds like torture, start slow. Replace 1 cup of coffee with green tea, then herbal tea. Just try it for a week. If your anxiety suddenly drops, you'll know exactly why. Step 8. Create a bedtime routine that actually relaxes you. Sleep is your brain's reset button. But if you go to bed feeling anxious, guess what? You wake up anxious. I started winding down 30 minutes before bed, and it changed how I sleep and how I feel the next day. Here's what worked for me. Dim lighting. Bright lights trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Low light equals melatonin production equals better sleep. No screens 30 minutes before bed. Social media and emails spike anxiety before sleep. Put the phone away. Stretch or do deep breathing. Loosening up your muscles tells your nervous system, hey, it's time to chill. Read something light. No horror movies or true crime before bed. Your brain will keep replaying it all night. The first night I tried this, I woke up feeling calmer than I had in years. If you struggle with anxiety, your night routine matters more than your morning routine. Anxiety isn't something you just fix. It's something you manage with daily habits. No one wakes up one day completely free of anxiety, but what you can do is build a system that makes anxiety weaker over time. Let's recap. The 5-second rule stops overthinking before it spirals. The what if flip turns fear into possibility. The vagus nerve hack resets your nervous system. No social media before 10 a.m. protects your mental energy. Movement releases natural anti-anxiety chemicals in your body. Journaling organizes your thoughts so they don't control you. Cutting caffeine removes unnecessary stress from your body. A bedtime routine sets you up for a calm, anxiety-free morning. So here's my challenge to you. Pick just one of these and do it today. Not tomorrow, today. Then come back and comment. Which one are you going to try first? Let's see who's actually serious about changing their life. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe, and let's keep building a calmer, stronger mind. Stronger mind.